know. It would be... Hold. Hello?
This is uncle. Yes.
Yes!
Man.
Can't go back, well done.
Oh, they will. Can't have that. Come.
The bandolier, if your food moving up,
All the fuel.
stay because the company, but food moving up,
See the sea.
Where they aim for?
pound, march, hit for anything but food. Fire! Moving up and down again.
Slow. If there's one visible, you're the neck. You scared? Good. Get your first kill.
Dad!
Should. I'm proud. Go on, just keep going. Order. Search this place.
It's useful.
Nah. Frisbee? You never seen a frisbee? Come here, son. Blake, do as I tell you. Tied up and left for the infected. Land.
Is that the lesson?
The more you kill, the infection takes away their mind. Kill the bloody thing. Now, son!
We're going back. Won't it look like we left early?
Don't talk. It's clear.
Dad!
Let's go! Move, move! Sence, get your breath back.
What? Slow it down.
Heading hard, Spike!
Loft! To the loft!
Spike!
Oh, fucking hell! It's alright.
What happened?
All
Is it not tight?
All's way and over it, alright?
Still high tide.
Only Josh. Shindy. That's all, Pap. You go first. Eh? For an alpha! On! Get up! Fucking go! Yes, you can! Yeah! Moving up! Wakey, wakey! Alpha! Alpha, get my line on! Keep the fuck!
I don't know. We walked until we spotted it, like the pyramids or stone, and 7 or 8 falling into the. I got scared. Oh, Mom, Spike. Keep still.
Doubling!
Keep going, Mom!
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the grim, terrifying future of 28 years later, 2025. A film that proves, even after nearly 3 decades, humanity still hasn't learned to just stay home when there's a super rabies pandemic on the loose. We're talking about a world where the Ragers are, shall we say, evolving, and human survivors are clinging to existence by a thread, or maybe a very flimsy rope. It's a proper British nightmare, but with more sprinting and less tea. Before you head off, if you're enjoying the kind of content I make, please consider liking and subscribing. No pressure, but it truly helps me keep the action coming. So 28 years on, and the world is still, to put it mildly, a mess. Our story kicks off in The Haven, a fortified farming community nestled deep in what used to be rural Scotland. These folks have built themselves a literal fortress, complete with towering walls, watchtowers, and enough barbed wire to make a porcupine jealous. It's a testament to human stubbornness, really. They've managed to cultivate crops, maintain a generator, and even homebrew a decent, if slightly questionable, whiskey. The constant hum of the generator is a comforting yet terrifying reminder that outside, silence often means danger. Our main character, Ilara, is a pragmatic, sharp-witted survivor, roughly 30, born into this new reality. She's seen enough to know that hope is a luxury, but she clings to it anyway, like a particularly stubborn limpet. She's often found tinkering with their ancient communication equipment, trying to catch any whisper from the outside world. The world building here is fantastic. You really get a sense of how these communities function. Every ration accounted for, every task essential. They've established a complex barter system, trading services and goods, with skills like engineering and medicine being more valuable than gold. You can practically smell the wood smoke and the damp earth. Life is a constant negotiation with scarcity and fear. Every creak of the gate, every distant rustle in the woods sends a jolt through the community, a stark reminder of the fragile peace they've built. The Haven's biggest challenge? Food. So, every few weeks, a small team ventures out into the green scars, the overgrown remnants of former farmland, to harvest what they can. This isn't your grandma's leisurely stroll through the orchard. This is a high-stakes, life-or-death grocery run. Ilara, being the resident expert tracker and marksman, always leads these expeditions. The metallic clink of their gear, the soft crunch of dead leaves underfoot, and the heavy thud of their boots are the only sounds breaking the oppressive silence of the forest. They move with an almost primal awareness, every nerve alert. They're looking not just for food, but for anything out of place. The world outside the Haven is a kaleidoscope of danger, where the familiar has become treacherous. Old farmhouses stand like skeletal monuments, their windows like empty eyes, and the rustle of wind through the skeletal branches can sound like a dozen pairs of infected feet. It's a beautifully grim landscape, showing how nature has furiously reclaimed humanity's failures. During one such patrol, they stumble upon an abandoned farmhouse, its exterior draped in vines, hinting at a life long lost. The air inside is thick with dust and the stale scent of decay, but also a faint metallic tang that sets Ilara's teeth on edge. They find remnants of a previous settlement, faded photographs, rusted tools, a child's toy half buried in the dust. It's a poignant reminder of what was, and a chilling premonition of what could still be. It's a moment that asks, what's the point of survival if everything you love eventually turns to dust? It's on this harvest run that things take a turn for the truly terrifying. Up until now, the Ragers have been, well, Ragers, fast, furious, and basically living, screaming engines of chaos. You hear them, you run, or you fight. Simple. But this time, they encounter something different. A hybrid. It's slower, almost shambling, but its movements are disturbingly deliberate. It's not just blindly charging. It seems to be observing them, almost studying. The visceral thumping of Ilara's heart is almost audible through the intense silence. The creature's ragged breathing, a wet, guttural sound, feels like a prelude to something truly awful. Its eyes, though still bloodshot and devoid of humanity, hold a chilling flicker of something more than just rage. It's a horrifying evolution, proving that the virus, like life, finds a way. This hybrid moves with a disturbing, almost predatory grace, dodging one of the team's initial shots with an unexpected agility. The sounds it makes are less like the frantic shrieks of the old ragers, and more like low, guttural growls that vibrate through the ground, making your teeth ache. It feels like the stakes have just gone from survive the apocalypse to survive the apocalypse, now with added brain power. One of their patrol members, a young, eager rookie named Finn, nearly gets caught in a trap, a tripwire connected to a pile of rusted scrap metal, clearly a rudimentary attempt at an ambush. It's a chilling moment that sends a cold shiver down your spine. The hybrids aren't just infected anymore, they're becoming hunters. Back in the Haven, the encounter sparks a frantic research session. Dr. Eris, the community's resident eccentric genius, who looks like he's powered by coffee and existential dread, gets to work. He's been meticulously cataloging every scrap of information about the virus for decades. The scratch of his pen on parchment and the rustle of old maps are the only sounds in the cramped, dimly lit lab. His glasses are perpetually perched on his nose, perpetually smudged. He theorizes that the virus isn't just mutating, it's adapting, integrating elements of its host's primal instincts, perhaps even their memories, in a twisted evolutionary leap. He calls them echoes of humanity. The hybrids are slower, yes, but incredibly durable, almost like walking biological tanks. They also appear to be developing a primitive form of pack behavior, coordinating their movements and even, gasp, setting traps. Imagine if a zombie apocalypse decided to play chess. Now that's just unfair. Alara, meanwhile, unearths an old, faded map from a hidden compartment in her deceased grandmother's belongings, a relic from before the collapse. It highlights a series of pre-outbreak research facilities, one specifically marked Project Chimera, deep in the now-ruined English countryside. Her grandmother, a botanist, had been part of a pre-apocalypse ecological restoration project near one of these facilities. There's a faint, almost invisible tremor of hope that runs through the air, quickly overshadowed by the immense danger. The map, yellowed and fragile, feels like a tangible link to a forgotten past, and a potential key to their future. The crackle of the ancient radio, still uselessly searching for a signal, is a constant reminder of their isolation and the impossible distances they might have to travel. Alara presents her findings to the Haven's Council. The air crackles with debate, the clatter of pots and pans in the nearby kitchen briefly muffled by the tension. Some argue it's a fool's errand, an unnecessary risk that could jeopardize their hard-won safety. Why poke the sleeping dragon? They ask, their voices tight with fear. Others, however, see it as their only chance, a sliver of hope against the creeping despair. Dr. Eris, with a weary sigh and a slight tremor in his voice, points out that doing nothing means a slow, inevitable death for their community as the hybrids grow smarter and stronger. It's the classic stay safe and die slow, or risk it all for a slim chance dilemma, a real nail-biter. Alara, with a quiet but firm resolve, argues that understanding the hybrids isn't just about survival, it's about a chance at a future. The sounds of their arguments echo off the rough-hewn wooden walls, a symphony of fear and desperation. The community leader, a stoic woman named Anya, whose face carries the weight of years of impossible decisions, ultimately gives her hesitant blessing. She knows the journey is almost certainly a death sentence, but she also sees the desperate hope in Alara's eyes. A small team consisting of Alara, Finn, the aforementioned rookie, now determined to prove himself, and a grizzled ex-military veteran named Marcus, who carries the weight of 1,000 lost battles in his weary eyes, prepares for the perilous expedition. The clanging of their weapons being checked, the soft whisper of final goodbyes, and the heavy silence of apprehension fill the air. The weight of their community's future rests heavily on their shoulders, a palpable burden. No pressure, though. Their journey begins, and oh boy, is it a scenic route through hell. They traverse abandoned motorways, their surfaces cracked and choked with weeds, and navigate through the skeletal remains of forgotten cities. The wind whistles through shattered skyscrapers, making ghostly music that raises the hairs on your neck. The metallic squeal of rusted signs swaying in the breeze is a constant, unsettling companion. The urban jungle has literally become a jungle, with trees growing out of office buildings and ivy swallowing entire blocks. It's a stunning visual testament to nature's relentless reclamation, but also a stark reminder of humanity's defeat. They scavenge for supplies. their hands brushing against cold, forgotten surfaces, and try to avoid any encounters with the traditional ragers, whose frantic screeches can still be heard in the distance, a constant, nagging threat, like a particularly persistent mosquito. The air itself feels heavy with decay and the lingering scent of damp earth. Marcus, ever the pessimist, makes a sarcastic comment about how, at least the commute's better now, no traffic. Sue, while deftly avoiding a loose floorboard that would have sent them tumbling into a forgotten subway shaft, their senses are on high alert. Every snap of a twig, every distant groan, is a potential harbinger of doom. They set up makeshift camps in deserted buildings, the echoing silence a constant reminder of their isolation. The harsh, rhythmic tapping of rain on shattered windows often accompanies their restless sleep. They are moving through a truly alien world, one that used to be home, now utterly transformed. Deep within a dense, overgrown residential area, the team stumbles upon a truly unsettling discovery, a den of hybrids. This isn't just a random horde. This is organized chaos. They witness the hybrids performing a grotesque, almost ritualistic ceremony around a decaying carcass, the air thick with the stench of death and something indescribably foul. The wet, tearing sounds as they feed are sickening, a harsh contrast to the relative silence around them. They move with an unnerving, synchronized shuffle, their guttural growls forming a low, disturbing chorus. Alara notices that they seem to be communicating, not with words, but with subtle gestures and shifts in their posture, a horrifying mimicry of human interaction. Marcus, usually unflappable, mutters, "Well, that's new and improved, just what we needed." Next, they'll be forming a book club. Finn, eyes wide with terror, clutches his rifle, the cold metal digging into his palm. It's a spine-chilling moment, showing a level of cunning and coordination previously unimagined. They've evolved past simple predators. They're becoming something far more complex and terrifying. The hybrids are also setting more elaborate traps, tripwires connected to falling debris, carefully placed obstacles that funnel prey into kill zones. The clicks and groans they make as they work sound like a macabre symphony. It's here that Alara spots peculiar markings etched into the walls of a derelict building. Not graffiti, but strange, almost symbolic patterns, further hinting at a nascent culture, or perhaps a terrifying form of communication. The soft scuttling of unseen creatures in the shadows adds another layer of dread. This isn't just a virus anymore. It's a new form of life, twisted and perverted. After navigating through crumbling infrastructure and narrowly escaping several close calls, including a hair-raising chase through an abandoned subway tunnel where the echoing screams of hybrids felt like they were right behind them, the team finally reaches the Project Chimera facility. It's an imposing, brutalist structure, mostly underground, a concrete behemoth swallowed by nature. Vines cling to its weathered walls like parasitic green veins, and the heavy, rusted metal entrance door, partially ajar, groans in the wind, a mournful sound. The air here is colder, damper, and carries a faint, acrid smell of ozone and decay. The inside is a maze of dark corridors, flickering emergency lights, and the chilling silence of a place long abandoned. The thumping of their own footsteps and the nervous rustle of their clothes are the only sounds. Marcus, ever the beacon of positivity, remarks, "Well, this isn't creepy at all. Just a regular Tuesday stroll through a government-funded nightmare." Alara finds old research logs, their pages brittle and water-damaged, detailing experiments into genetic modification and biological warfare. A classic pre-apocalypse. What could possibly go wrong? A scenario. It appears Project Chimera wasn't just researching a cure. They were attempting to control the rage virus, perhaps even weaponize it. The discovery of a faded hand-drawn diagram showing a hybrid organism, part human, part something else, sends a shiver down their spines. The deeper they go, the more the air feels charged with an unsettling energy, a sense of scientific hubris gone horribly wrong. The lab equipment, though broken and covered in dust, hints at advanced technology. They navigate through vast, empty chambers, the echoing silence amplifying their fear. The clack of their boots on the tiled floor feels deafening. It's a chilling reminder of humanity's capacity for both innovation and self-destruction, all bundled up in one convenient, terrifying package. In the deepest, most secure chamber of the facility, they find it, the Alpha subject. This isn't just a hybrid. It's the hybrid. Massive, gaunt, and terrifyingly ancient. It's chained to a reinforced operating table. its movement still powerful enough to rattle its restraints with a deafening clang. Its eyes, though still infected, hold a chilling intelligence, a primal spark that sends cold dread through the team. The low, guttural growls it emits are almost intelligible, a broken language of rage and pain. It's a truly horrifying sight, like something ripped from the darkest corners of a fever dream. The air in the chamber is thick, with a stale, metallic tang, and the oppressive silence is occasionally broken by the Alpha's labored breathing and the harsh scrape of its chains. Dr. Eris's research confirms their worst fears. The Alpha was a human subject exposed to an experimental, highly adaptive strain of the rage virus intended to create a controlled super soldier. Instead, it became the progenitor, spreading its evolved strain through a unique form of airborne spores released periodically. The clattering of the medical equipment in the room feels like a heartbeat, loud and terrifying. Alara discovers a recording device, its ancient tech barely functional, that holds fragmented audio logs. They reveal the horrifying desperation of the scientists, their growing fear as their control slipped. The audio logs reveal moments of chilling clarity from the Alpha in its early stages, moments where it almost spoke, revealing flashes of its former self. Its terror, and then, slowly, its growing rage and cunning. It wasn't just a monster, it was a man, twisted into one, a truly tragic and terrifying transformation. The realization that humanity created this terror, not just succumbed to it, hits them like a physical blow. The discovery triggers the facility's dormant defense systems, and suddenly, they're not just fighting hybrids, but also the decaying infrastructure itself. Ragers, drawn by the commotion and the Alpha's agitated roars, begin pouring in. The metallic clang of collapsing debris, the frantic clicks of rifle safeties, and the blood-curdling screams of the infected create a symphony of pure terror. It's a full-blown zombie free-for-all with added collapsing ceilings. The team realizes the Alpha is continually releasing the spores, albeit slowly, creating a constant supply of new hybrids. The only way to stop it is to bring the whole rotten structure down. Dr. Eris, with a quiet determination that belies his frail appearance, initiates a self-destruct sequence, rigging the facility with scavenged explosives. He hands Alara a small data chip containing all his research, a legacy of hope. "Go," he urges, his voice thick with emotion. "The world needs to understand." He looks at the Alpha, a look of profound sadness and a hint of defiance. The final image of him, bathed in the flickering emergency lights, detonating the charges as the ceiling groans and starts to cave. The heavy, vibrating thud of the explosion shaking the very ground is a heart-wrenching moment. The ground trembles beneath Alara's feet, the sound of the explosion deafening. The metallic screech of twisting girders and the roar of rushing water as pipes burst accompany their desperate flight. Finn, despite his inexperience, shows incredible courage, covering Alara and Marcus as they scramble through tight passages. Marcus, for the first time, openly weeps, his face streaked with dust and tears, a silent tribute to his old friend. The sacrifice of Eris creates a powerful emotional core, a moment of profound loss and desperate hope. It's a poignant reminder that even in the darkest times, humanity finds a way to shine, however briefly. Alara, Marcus, and Finn emerge, battered and bruised into the muted light of dawn. The massive concrete structure of Project Chimera is now a smoking, twisted ruin, a monument to scientific hubris and heroic sacrifice. The dust still hangs heavy in the air, tasting of ash and ozone. The silence that follows the cataclysmic explosion is almost as deafening as the blast itself, broken only by the ragged breathing of the survivors. Marcus, ever practical, checks their remaining supplies, his movements stiff with exhaustion. Finn, still shaking, looks back at the wreckage, a silent testament to the horrors they've witnessed. Alara clutches the data chip, Dr. Eris's final gift, his life's work. It contains not just the terrifying truth of the Alpha, but also potential pathways to a more complete understanding of the virus and its future evolution. She knows their fight isn't over. In many ways, it's just beginning. The metallic tang of fear and adrenaline still lingers on her tongue. Her new mission is clear. Find a way to disseminate this information, to unite the scattered remnants of humanity against this evolving threat. The world might be broken, but it's not completely dead, not yet. The rustle of wind through the overgrown trees feels like a whispered promise. The thought of Aris's selflessness fuels her, transforming grief into grim determination. The weight of the chip in her hand feels like a responsibility, a burden, but also a source of incredible power. It's a bittersweet victory, one that cost them dearly, but one that opens a new, terrifying, yet hopeful chapter for humanity. Their journey back to the Haven and beyond is fraught with new challenges. Alara, Marcus, and Finn decide that taking the information directly back to their community isn't enough. They need to reach other communities, connect the scattered remnants of humanity. The metallic clang of their makeshift repairs on their salvaged vehicle is a constant feature of their travel. They encounter various survivor groups. Some are desperate and hostile, their faces hardened by years of scarcity and fear, their voices sharp with suspicion. Others are small, struggling settlements barely clinging to existence, wary of outsiders like hedgehogs curled up against the cold. The air in these places often smells of desperation and burning refuse. They face skepticism, disbelief, and outright hostility when trying to explain the hybrids and the alpha. It's like trying to explain quantum physics to someone who thinks the Earth is flat. More mutated zombies? Are you serious? They're met with. People have been traumatized for too long to easily accept new, terrifying realities. The sounds of their arguments echo in the desolate, forgotten spaces. But Alara's conviction, coupled with Dr. Eris's detailed research, eventually starts to chip away at the cynicism. They show snippets of the data, drawings of the hybrids, a desperate plea for unity. The tactile feel of the worn data chip in Alara's hand is a constant reminder of her purpose. They learn that their haven isn't the only one. Small pockets of resistance and rebuilding are scattered across the ravaged landscape, each with its own leadership, its own rules, and its own unique set of problems. It's a fragmented picture of humanity, still very much at war with itself, even when facing an external threat. The distinct smell of wood smoke from a distant settlement is a rare, comforting sign of human life. Finally, after months of arduous travel and countless close shaves, Alara's team discovers the Citadel, a much larger, more organized survivor settlement, tucked away in what was once a sprawling industrial park. It's a beacon of order in a world of chaos, a testament to what humanity can achieve when it pulls its head out of its collective, infected-avoiding posterior. The metallic hum of its advanced machinery, the rhythmic thud of its generators, and the confident stride of its armed patrols are a stark contrast to the quiet desperation of other communities. This place has high walls, hydroponic farms, and, crucially, a fully functional long-range communication system, complete with a massive antenna stretching towards the sky like a metal prayer. It's a sight for sore eyes, especially after months of listening to static. The Citadel's leader, a formidable woman named Commander Thorne, is initially skeptical. Her voice is crisp and authoritative, cutting through the general chatter of the busy compound. But Alara's unwavering conviction, combined with the irrefutable data from Dr. Eris's chip, especially the disturbing audio logs from Project Chimera, eventually convinces her. Thorne, a pragmatist through and through, understands the existential threat. The clicks and whirs of the communication array working overtime are a powerful symbol of renewed hope. The scent of cooking food, a rare luxury, wafts through the air, briefly offering a taste of forgotten normalcy. The tactile feel of hot coffee in her hands, a treat from the Citadel, feels like an indulgence. For the first time, Alara allows herself a flicker of true optimism. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about rebuilding, about fighting back with knowledge and unity. The vastness of the Citadel's main hall, filled with busy, purposeful people, feels like a glimpse into a potential future. In the Citadel's communication hub, a nerve center humming with electricity and purpose, Alara prepares to make her broadcast. The rhythmic clicking of the old-school computer keys as she types her message and the persistent hum of the powerful radio transmitters create a tense atmosphere. Commander Thorne stands by, her gaze firm and unwavering, a silent testament to her belief in Alara. Marcus, ever watchful, stands ready, his hand resting on the grip of his rifle, a silent guardian. The screen glows, projecting Alara's face, etched with weariness but burning with resolve, to a potentially empty world. Her voice, initially trembling slightly, quickly gains strength and clarity as she relays the horrifying truth. The rage virus hasn't died out. It has evolved. The hybrids are here, and they're learning. She broadcasts Dr. Eris's research, the terrifying audio logs from Project Chimera, and a desperate plea for unity. She urges any surviving communities to share information, to pool resources, to acknowledge the true nature of their enemy, This isn't just about survival anymore, she states, her voice echoing with conviction. It's about defining what kind of humanity survives. The metallic screech of the antenna adjusting its frequency, reaching further into the desolate unknown, feels monumental. It's a gamble, a shot in the dark, but it's their only chance. The crackle of the radio waves, the faint whispers of static, carry her message across the ruined continents. The hope, tenuous as it is, feels palpable, a fragile spark in the vast, silent night. The scent of burnt electronics and the ozone from the powerful transmitters fills the air, a physical manifestation of their desperate outreach. Days turn into agonizing nights in the communication hub. The rhythmic ticking of the wall clock feels impossibly loud against the tense silence. The only sounds are the hum of the equipment, the rustle of papers, and the occasional sigh of exhaustion from the operators. Alara, Marcus, and Thorn maintain a constant vigil, hope flickering like a dying ember. The metallic scent of the machine room is ever present. The possibility that her message fell on deaf ears, or that there are simply no ears left to hear, weighs heavily on Alara. It's a crushing thought. Finn, perpetually anxious, keeps pacing, his boots making soft, rhythmic thuds on the floor. Then, amidst the ever-present static and white noise, a tiny, almost imperceptible beep registers on the console, a faint flicker on the screen, a distant signal. It's barely audible, a fragile whisper across the vast emptiness, but it's there. The silence in the room instantly intensifies, all eyes glued to the console. Commander Thorn raises an eyebrow, a hint of surprise in her stern expression. Alara feels a surge of adrenaline, a profound mix of relief and renewed fear. The metallic click of the console's buttons as the technician frantically tries to stabilize the signal is a symphony of hope. It's not a full conversation, not yet, but it's a response, a confirmation that somewhere out there humanity still endures, still listens, still fights. The tactile feeling of the console's cool metal beneath her fingers grounds her. The sound of that faint beep, though barely a whisper, feels like a roaring thunderclap of renewed purpose, signaling that perhaps, just perhaps, they aren't alone after all. The battle isn't won, but the war, it seems, has just entered a new, unified phase. The world of 28 years later, 2025, leaves us with a challenging, yet ultimately inspiring message. It's a story not just of terrifying viruses and evolving monsters, but of humanity's incredible resilience. Even after decades of silence and despair, the spirit of connection, of shared purpose, can pierce through the darkest night. It reminds us that even when our world feels utterly broken and unrecognizable, there's always a chance to rebuild, to learn, and to adapt. The fight isn't over, and the future is still fraught with peril, but now there's a glimmer of hope, a shared direction. It's a testament to the idea that our greatest strength isn't just our ability to survive, but our capacity to find each other, to unite, and to strive for something better, even in the ruins of yesterday.
No. It would be... Hold. Hello?
This is a close. Yes.
Yes!